Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. We've got a live stream recap for you. I'm going to try and recap things as quickly as possible. It was a 1 hour and 30 live stream, so it's very long with a lot of details and information. There was a bit of a surprise in that there was a promo code. That particular promo code is called Thanks for Playing, which is on screen right there. Thanks for playing. Apply that one. I've already applied it because you can see it right there. And it is for 2 reunion crystals, which... There we go, reunion crystals. Those are the better ones than the legends ones, just to kind of let you know that. So where do we begin? There's a lot of stuff to begin with. The Twitch drops, that was another thing as well. You might have got that, you might not have. It wasn't exactly what I was hoping from it, but I hope for the future that Kabam can learn from that to at least run it for a longer length of time and encourage people to live stream content creators on the platform so you can interact with it and get it whenever rather than missing out, because I'm sure a lot of people missed out on this because it ran for a limited time. My hope was it would run for, I don't know, about 5 days, 2 days, even 3 days with content creators streaming and being able to offer this to people. But look, it is what it is with that. But let's get into the live stream coverage because, as I said, it was incredibly spicy. So one of the first things was the menu background. This is what the menu at the background when you're opening crystals and navigating through the game. This is what you're going to see as improved background stuff. It actually looks really decent and smooth and definitely gives me some good vibes that the future is going to be good for the game when it comes to just those little kind of extras that are quite nice with it. There was also some more things as we progressed on through the stream, like some flashes of the past. And also, this is the thing that kind of like intrigued me. This is what potential champions might have looked like in MCOC. That scares the bejesus out of me. It really does. There's also some early artwork and other stuff like that. It certainly was great as well to go back in time to some of the things that I've known from the game, whether or not it was early forms of quests, and also back to the old days of the old faction wars between blue team, red team. This is the Civil War faction fight. Man, I love those days. That was really cool. So it was good to see that art start, and also the sausage fighting was kind of good. It was nice to see a bit of a blast from the past as well, with some old footage of the game, and also like from the very early beginnings and how things have kind of gone on. There was appearances from many content creators. Seaton was featured in the video. There's Brian Grant. You name it, it was just cool to see a lot of these little fun blasts from the past. And now to the subject of Isophyene. Isophyene does light attacks to get Nullify. You can instant power gain, build to about 2 bars of power, then throw an SP1 to place an energy vulnerability. The SP1, more to do with getting more energy vulnerabilities. Nullify buffs to get ego once at 10 and throw an SP2 for a fury build and damage rate increase. The signature ability mark is on the enemy and does more damage. This is why you'll counter things like Serpent's death immunity. She has a very strong power gain build, which is amazing against Serpent and Gorr, as we're seeing on screen right now. And when the enemy is below, of course, you're going to see, here we go, you can see it on screen, boom, that is exactly what she does. More idols are coming, of course, as a Mystic class. There could be more in different types of classes in the future as well. Deathless Thanos now is an intriguing one that's coming to the game. You do heavies in order to consume energy, which you can see top left hand corner. Then you get Armor Shattered debuff, build necrotic energy every 10 gets you a counterpunch charge. When you attack, you can pause effects, gain more charges whilst unstoppable. When you pass 20 charges, do an SP1 to get furies, repeat to get more furies, and the Genesis passive helps you to regen, which you can see how strong it is top left hand corner. Build to an SP2 to melt with corrosion debuffs. This is a freight train of a champion, and I don't know if you can put this on defense. It's going to be quite annoying if it's like a defender. You're going to have to find like a suitable counter for it, I must admit. Either way, exciting for the future, possibly, especially when he can do stuff that's just, well, ultra damage, which, wow, okay, scary champion, but could be good from an attacking sense, especially when you're seeing stuff like this. That's nice. Quickly on to Sentinel, who gets more analysis easier. Every time he gets 10 analysis, he gets the increased armor, crit, resistance, and attack rating. Specials do more incinerate damage. He's immune to more effects like cold, as well as armor break. He's got a new signature that does more damage. He's got a heavy attack that does intimidate, and new SP3 that gets him a life model decoy. Yes, he can get a brand new sentinel come to help him out. That's cool. When he's at low health, it'd be debatable when you use that, but we'll see what happens next week when you get to play that particular champion's rework. On to Deadpool X-Force now, and you can do slap charges to build on first and third light attack. So do your first and third light attack and you do a slap charge. Max out 10 slap charges, do an SP1 for a super duper slap which does a ton of bleed, which you can see on screen right now. It counters purified champions and life metal decoy champions, aka Nick Fury. If they cleanse or purify, they are inflicted with a Spleed debuff, which obviously is a very Swedish chef thing. Spleed debuff. This does an insane amount of burst bleed damage, I think, and then yeah, it's going to be an ultimate battlegrounds nuker, and of course you can play it with the new update. It's just so rewarding to see a passive stun right there, dealing with the likes of Baron Zemo. No one's safe nowadays, and same thing when it comes to going up against Black Panther Civil War. It's game over, mate. It's completely game over. Look at the Spleed debuff in action. And take that, Wolverine. On to the Sentry rework. Yes, Sentry is getting a rework. He's going to be immune to Nullify, Fate Cell, and Incinerates. Intercept to do a Bulwark buff even, and on his SP1 turn that turns them into passives, Fury passives or regen passives depending on the state of the fight. We need to get some more info on that. 20 solar charges, you change your form and get empowered light and medium attacks. Solar form allows you to do an exhaustion debuff. 3 basic forms that you can either take to go and do the Wither, the Exhaustion, and the Energy Vulnerability. It's unclear how to go through those 3 forms, but I think you just build over time. Reality Warps allows this champion to be a persistent champion, which is amazingly helpful. And the first 2 fights, he isn't going to be much powerful, but by the end, I've taken his persistent charges. You can see 10 top left-hand corner, at least after those particular fights, or building that particular way, depending on how many you can get, you're going to be doing a lot more damage. Stun on heavy charges and other bonuses can be seen the further you go on the Reality Warp, and he's a great champion in Incursions, Necropolis, Labyrinth, and more endgame content, and also he can be used in something coming up, Anubis content. Sasquatch counter, America Chavez counter, and you can get him with a new update, which is amazing. All of that was covered in the first hour. It was a very busy hour. There was also the announcement of Summoner's Choice 2025, which has like a graffiti theme to it. Of course, you know, down for the streets or whatever. So what else has it's coming up with this? Well, there is the Battle Pass, which we're still learning more about what's happening. The Double Track Dazzler Battle Pass thing, whatever it is. It drops on December 9th. We'll be covering it, seeing what the crack is at the start of next week, which is nice. And Kabam Crash dropped in, as we are going to be discussing now the Grand Banquet event. There is a lot to go over with this, which I will be separating out to another video, but I want to quickly cover this to kind of at least give you a bit of perspective of things. So on screen right now is that particular image that's relevant to the Grand Banquet event. And some of the tasty things are, there's going to be, and it's the same thing, opening crystals equals milestones. Rank rewards, not said yet, but that could be something later on that we get close to the 20th of December. Contents of the crystal. We learn of some things, not everything. There's also a summoner market bonus event points type system. Not sure if I like that, because it's like it does have elements of spendy nature. And also there'll be a realm event, which is something we did say is a high. So one of the things a little while I've actually got right. There's some things I've got wrong, but at least to say that that's going to be a thing. That's good. Not sure if you have to do anything extra. There are some special key system, which is going to be present in this image. If I can find it in time, I think it's like this image. So yes, these boxes, open up a box and you get a champion. There's a high rate of you getting like the awakened ability of some of the champions you're getting for free. So you're logging in and getting a free champion. Awakening that champion is, is possible. It's a gacha feature, and instead of the crystal box, you get keys, you dupe them, you get enough keys, you get all of them. So it's how there's a few more things to explain with it, as there's drop rates and stuff. There's drop rate box right there. Effectively, yeah, it's It's a system, more than likely work for you. It's gonna be fine. But how to get the keys, I think, that's my biggest question. Getting in, and that's one thing. But it does say spend a banquet key to draw one item from the box. Once gained, the item is removed from the box. Event, what is it? To remove them once collected is when the time runs out. So yeah, you have to get involved with some of the stuff. Maybe you'll get some keys. Maybe you'll get no keys. We don't know just yet. I need to figure out what this event is going to be all about. We'll read up more about that. And we'll be doing some other reactions to other bits of content and give more information later on in the next few days. There's also a big warning. 14 days is the joining of Alliance, the banquet event type thing. So you have to either start joining now, 2 weeks, then you're in. But you got to do it like, okay, 7th of December in 3 days' time. You then join, 2 weeks from there. It's going to be the day. So it's going to be like 21st. So maybe you're best off joining on the 6th. Yeah, in 2 weeks. Yeah, sorry, do it like that way. Not what I said. The 6th of December, 2 weeks. In for the banquet event, and try and do that before the end of the 3rd of January because you'll miss out on a lot of stuff. There is also I think there's, because it's a realm event, it could change the way that we approach this because of what you get for free with points acquisition to rank reward, and that's something I'll talk about later on and explain that particular point further down the line. Not because it does say here that there's a tie-in. Banquet 2023 completed with Necropolis. Banquet designed alongside Anniversary Karina's Challenge. Now that Karina's Challenge does mean that you have to go into Necropolis, so this is going to be potentially painful for people. And the biggest thing from all of this, right, is these statements right here. 83% of the crystal last year was filler, right? There's 50% filler in the crystal this year. I don't know if that corresponds to Greater Banquet Crystal and regular Superior, the new Superior Banquet Crystal. That's something we'll have to go in a bit of detail, but that's the new thing that's coming in. That new crystal is a bit more spicier and has better things in it. Okay, moving on, because there's lots of things. Honestly, there's so many things that were revealed. So I can't speak with stuff. So next thing is Anniversary Karina's Challenge. December 10th, this launches, so that's in, 6 days from now. 4 paths with specific tags, specific paths, and 2 full runs, curated pool of champions you can use, and all Deathless 7-star champions, which you can't do until January 2025. This is going to be maybe painful, but also it might change the way you think about what you're spending your units on. You may hold off. And I'm now thinking to myself, right, well, are my units going towards a banquet event? And am I saving some back for Karina's Challenge Anniversary? And I've got to be honest, I think I'll probably save back some crystals, some units for this, because I think it's going to be a bit painful early on with using a specific champions. Sentry is one of them, so that's good. And there's also some others. I don't know why it has to be Wong. There must be some other champions you can use other than Wong for it, because that'd just be a bit kind of like meh, and kind of like being quite restrictive. For the new kind of challenges, there are some better rewards. Those rewards are Deathless She-Hulk piece, which you have to do in order to get that champion, in order to then be able to get Thanos, or use the champions and get Thanos. Or get Thanos in general from it. So it's like, okay. So you have to do the Anniversary Karina's Challenge, which is a bit annoying. There's Tier 7 Basic Catalyst for free. What is that going to mean for the future? Well, I again have to see what's in the banquet event. But at least that's the first sniff at a 7-star Basic. Maestro and Thanos Deathless Dupes. 120,000 7-star shards. 200 7-star signature stones. Don't know if that's generic. Probably generic. 3 Titan Crystals, Awakening Gem Crystal, and more. All of that will be revealed, you'll probably see next week. And I think a lot of us are going to be working hard to achieve it. I'm still going to make a decision on that, because I'm got the launch of Marvel Rivals tomorrow, actually. No, not tomorrow, the day after. So I'm thinking about what I'm doing. It's going to be a very busy December, I'll tell you that. It might be worth just holding off on stuff to say the end of December, because you'll have to see how many units you're going to be spending in the Banquet event, but we'll have to see on that stuff. Something else, level cap has increased. You've probably seen the message in game. Kabam have announced it. The acquisition of it isn't exactly the most easiest of things to do, as the XP is specific and you'll have to go and do some endgame content. So, oh, and also Super Daily. The Valiant Super Daily is now going to have the featuring XP, the special gold XP, which Kabam have said about. So that's that. Again, another mega thing that Kabam have got lined up, which you can see on screen. 1 level every 2 months, effectively. That's the long-term goal with it. New resource required to make meaningful progress. Valiant Super Daily event. So whether you do it by that, do or don't have to do endgame content. We'll need to learn more about how much you get from that as to when you're going to hit it. And yeah, just like, are you going to hit level 65 by the first year? Like, 12 months in. Is it going to take 6 months? We just don't know these things just yet, but we'll find out later on. And then the final things, because there was a lot, Kabam did announce a Summoner Sigil reworks in the process. There'll be a monthly subscription, new value coming soon, and it's going to be made more streamlined. So hopefully that's going to be good as well. The final 2 things is the Battleground. Battlegrounds is getting a bit of a lift in its levels to store, and that's going to be dropping in on Friday, so things are going to be improved. And the final thing was a fun little trailer that Kabam put out, which, if you paid attention, you'll see the tease of the 2 new champions for January, which is or 3 She-Hulk, of course, Okoye, and Gentle. So those are your new champions coming into January, and it was a really decent trailer. And that's everything. Like, there was a lot. I've tried to recap this 1 hour 30 live stream in a 1 hour 48 live stream in as quick as possible. Sorry it took a little bit long, but these things take so much time, especially to write up and stuff. So you can check out the write-up in the description down below. And yeah, make sure to support the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Trying to push, hopefully, the end of the year to 83,000 subscribers if we can do it. So it would be nice if you could hit the subscribe button. That would be very helpful. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.